Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Brooke and this is Seeds to Sanctuary, and it's been a long time coming since we have been in the kitchen and cooked together. So I'm super excited. Today I'm going to be trying to knock out some freezer meals because if you don't already know, I have been Ubering for the homestead. I'll put up my vlogs at the end of this video so you can check them out after this one. But in today's video, we are going to be attempting to make all of these. Not promising, it's an attempt, but we're gonna do it as well as we can. So we are going to make sausage and chicken quesadillas. We are also going to make stuffed peppers. We are going to make homemade pepperoni bombs and meatball bombs. And we are going to make, what else did I say, Mandy? Do you remember? Mandy's in the kitchen with me, but she's a little camera shy, so. Chicken cordon bleu. That's it. What would I do without my lovely assistant? I will show you a bit. Well, anyway, let's get to making these freezer meals. Okay, we're gonna start off with our chicken quesadilla and our sausage quesadilla. So as you guys know from the video that I just uploaded, we went to Sam's Club and I like to do the rotation. Well, we have some random sausages that were in the bottom of my freezer that we need to get used up. So I'm gonna use this as the sausage. And then we still have a few of our canned chicken from when we did that preserving months ago. So we're gonna use this as our chicken. You're also going to need a Velveeta cheese, corn tortillas or flour tortillas. You can make them on your own, but I'm using store-bought today, guys, because convenience is what I need. I'm a busy mama right now, so. And then you can use garden tomatoes if you have it, if you have any more of this still left, or you can grab some Rotel or the generic. It works just fine. So let's assemble these and get them in the freezer. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get my sausage starting to brown and cook up. And while that's browning, I'm gonna go ahead and put my Velveeta cheese in a microwave safe bowl and get that all melted so then we can add our chicken and our sausage and our Rotel to it. It's a super easy freezer meal. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so first up guys, we got our sausage on, and I have two containers that are microwave safe. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna evenly divide my Velveeta into each one of these. Then I'm going to add a can of Rotel to each one of these, and then I'm going to mic it. So I'm just laying out my tortillas and getting them all nice and ready because our chicken is already cooked. We did all that hard work when we did our preserving of it, and our sausage is all browned up and yummy. So we're just waiting on our Rotel and our Velveeta cheese to melt and combine, and then we're gonna add our protein to it, and we're gonna stack them up here on our flour tortillas, and then I'll show you how we're gonna assemble them, and then we're gonna put them in the freezer and pull them out when we need them the most. Almost dropped the goods in the goods. Okay, so it's all melted and it looks great, and we're gonna go ahead and throw our sausage in this one. Now don't throw this pan in your sink just yet because we're gonna need it to brown our tortillas real quick. Okay, once you have it all mixed up, it's really that easy. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put a little dollop on each one of our tortillas. I better get this one in the microwave. Then we're just gonna take another flour tortilla and we're just gonna place it right on top. When you're pushing it down, kind of smush it and roll it so your Velveeta and your sausage spread spreads all over it. And then you're gonna go ahead and put this in a hot skillet for about 1 minute on each side, or even less, depending. Just make sure you watch it. You don't want it to burn. We just want to toast it up some, and then we're gonna go ahead and put these in a Ziploc, pull them out, stick them in our oven for 10 minutes or so. You can do it frozen, warm them back up, throw them in your toaster, not your regular toaster like where you put bread, but like, you know, a toaster. And yeah, enjoy. Let's get to making the chicken ones. If you have more dip left over than you have tortillas, go ahead and eat this. It's a wonderful dip. The filling is a wonderful dip. Go ahead and get yourself some tortilla chips and pretzels. Go to town. It's delicious. I give you permission. Okay, now we're gonna do our chicken. Hey, that's a sign of a good seal. I was trying to get the sound effect for you, but that's what it sounded like. Okay, so we're gonna take our lovely chicken and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add it to our other Velveeta and Rotel sauce. Okay, so our chicken and our Rotel mixture is out. The only thing different, I did give it a taste, as I'm going to add about a tablespoon of taco seasoning to this. Tablespoon and a half, give or take. Give it a taste and see if you like it. It's also a little more runny because I didn't drain the Rotel, my bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and just add that to this mixture, but I thought I'd let you know exactly what I'm doing. So if you want to copycat it and make it at home, you have all the information. No behind the scenes twerking the recipe. Okay, so it's definitely nice and thick. So we're gonna go ahead and finish this up, and then next up, we're gonna make our pastry dough for our meatball surprise puff balls and the pepperoni, what did I call them?
Bombs.
Bombs. Meatball bombs and the pepperoni bombs. It can be a surprise if you want it to be. Hey, this is our house and we could do what makes us happy. And you can do the same in your kitchen. Beauty is found in mistakes. And that's also how a lot of good recipes are made. At least, that's what I do. You know, okay, so I'm about to tell you a little tidbit about myself. I love Beauty and the Beast. And every time I'm filming, I have all my cabinets open. I just closed one, and I'm not sure if I've edited that part out yet or not. But, you know, when Belle goes up to stay in her bedroom in the tower, and they're trying to get her an outfit, and the big armorer starts talking. She goes, "Oh, that was embarrassing," when all the dust and the butterflies flew out. That's how I feel about my cabinets. Hey, this is supposed to be not for everybody to see. Not always tidy the most. It's a real life kitchen. But anyway, so now you know, I adore Beauty and the Beast, and I have things hidden in my cabinets. Okay, so I'm doing a little experiment. If you are still with me in this video, go ahead and leave a comment with your favorite dish. What is your favorite dish to make at home? Let me know all about it, and maybe I can try it in my very own kitchen. Thanks for the ideas, guys, and also thanks for watching. Love you so much. You can also freeze this mixture and take it out and put it in some hot water, and or put it back into the microwave. It freezes really well, and then you already have a dip ready. Same with the sausage, but I doubt the sausage is gonna make it. What about what do you think, Mandy?
Probably not.
She's like, favorite. I love, yeah. I was about to say she loves.
They're gonna think I come to your house just to eat.
It's okay. All right, I think I just made a boo-boo again. I added too much sauce to these. Not too much sauce, but I was supposed to, one too many. I didn't buy enough
extra cheesy
tortillas. So I'm gonna brown these up, and then we're gonna make those pizza bread. Or no, that's not what I said. We're gonna make those pizza bombs and meatball bombs. Gravy. Where does your mind go? I think when you turn 40, it just like, well, I'm not 40 yet, but close enough. Just disappears. It's like down the river in that lonely canoe. All right. We'll catch back up with you in a few. Okay, friends, next up, we're gonna be making our, and as you can see, Mandy and I took the suggestion. And we ate some of the leftover dip. But we're gonna make our meatball bombs. So what you're gonna need is you're gonna need a pound of ground beef. Mine's all flat because that's how I freeze it. It stacks easier, more space in the freezer. So anyway, it's thawed out now, and we're gonna go ahead and we are going to add that to our mixing bowl with a tablespoon of onion salt. You know how I measure by sight. That's the kind of cooker I am. I will leave the exact measurements in the description for all of these recipes. But yeah, this just is how I cook. Yeah. It is what it is. We're gonna add some homegrown, fresh basil. Look at that. And then garlic powder and Italian breadcrumbs. And 1 egg to bind it all together. And then we're gonna cook these at 375 for 35 minutes. And while we're cooking these, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make our pastry dough. And then we're gonna wrap them gently, and but we're gonna pre-cook the meatball halfway through, so that when we are cooking it, when we're ready to cook it, when we're pulling it out, because we either can't think of an idea or we're too tired and we're trying not to order out, because, man, confession time, I've done a lot more eating out after my January no spend than I did in quite a few months. And I think that is because I've been so busy Ubering. I'm just exhausted, keeping up with the filming and the kids and the house and life, and deep breath. So to save some poundage that we're trying not to gain back, we're making these freezer meals. So just in case you needed a little tidbit of information. I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna add these Italian breadcrumbs, about a cup, and one very precious, expensive egg. But soon enough, we will have Ubered our way to our homestead, and we'll have our own little chickens. And even if it ends up costing more because of feed, but I do have ideas on that, it'll still be well worth the cost than needing to go to the store. I can't wait to be a city farm girl. Well, I won't be in the city anymore. Maybe just on the outside. Let's mix it up and form them up. So have you guys started any of your vegetables or anything like that? I got my peppers and my tomatoes seeds started, my onions and cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower and celery. Oh, a whole lot. Gigi, it was so cool of you to post that on Facebook on my group. Thank you for joining and thank you for sharing. Hopefully your little seedlings that got trampled by your kitty cat will make it out just fine. They're a little bit more sturdy than some people think. Okay guys, it's all mixed up. Now we're gonna roll those balls. I'm gonna get my cast iron pan and I'll be right back. Now the icky part. You can make these as, you know, big as, oh, you know what I forgot? The surprise part, the cheese. One more second. Okay guys, I'm gonna go ahead and add a cup of shaky Parm, you know, Parmesan cheese, little Kraft, whatever's your favorite kinds. And then these mozzarella sticks. I'm gonna cut these and I'm gonna put a little chunk. I'm gonna, I don't know, probably cut this about this size. Cut them down. And then I'm gonna put them in each meatball. Alrighty, back to stirring. Don't worry if your mixture looks a little dry. We want that. We don't want it to be too, I don't know, too dry or too moist, because when you're cooking your meatball in your puff pastry, you don't want, like, you need something to absorb all that grease. You don't want a soggy bottom. So what you're gonna do is, you know, add more binder to it. Just make sure that it's thick. You want it thick. I'm gonna get to cutting these up. Okay, now that we have all this cheese, we're gonna go ahead and start cutting them. Don't come at me, Gordon Ramsay. These are not even. And this is not Hell's Kitchen. This is Heaven's. All right. I'm extra goofy today. I hope you enjoy. Because my cousin Mandy's here. The voice behind the camera. Okay, now I'm gonna grab my meat. And then I'm just gonna put it like this. And then I'm gonna take my mozzarella and I'm just gonna roll it over in itself. Make sure it's nice and taut, tight. And then just line them up in your pan like so. And I'll catch with you guys after these have come out of the oven and we're ready to put that puff pastry on our, or put our meatball around our puff pastry. I don't know exactly how to say that. Anywho's in. Okay, well, after that little smooch, it's time to start our dough. So all I'm doing is taking 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 2 sticks of butter. And then I'm going to use 1.5 cups of very cold water and have a half a cup of flour to the side to add just in case it's a little moist or too wet. And then you're just going to process this up and stick it in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 hours to chill. And then we're going to start rolling it out and cutting it out. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Thank you so much for watching again. If you haven't yet, go ahead and leave me a comment. Join the family by hitting that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell notification so you know every time I upload. My goal is to do 1 weekly upload and 1 daily upload per week on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Okay, friends, our dough is done. Okay, friends, our dough is done and it's chilled, and I'm going to go ahead and I am going to roll it out. And then we're going to make our meatball surprise. So when folding your homemade pastry dough, make sure you go every other direction. That way your butter is incorporated all the way through and you get a nice and flaky crust. I'm going to roll it out pretty thin. That way the crust is nice and flaky and crunchy. And it gives that meatball just the extra oomph it needs. All right. So now that our dough is all rolled out, I'm gonna get a pastry cutter and I'm gonna start cutting the dough. I'm actually going to use the top of my canning funnel because I think I don't have a big enough pastry cutter, and that works out just good, well, fine and dandy. And then we're going to take our meatballs that have come out of the oven and they're nice and cooled down, and we are just going to take our pastry dough and bring it up along our meatball. And then you're gonna fold it over on itself like that. Tuck it in so you have a nice steam pocket. And there you go. This is your meatball surprise. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish up all these. Make sure you do add some egg wash to the top of them when you go to cook them. Just gives it a nice golden brown effect. And these can stay into your freezer for 6 months to a year, depending on how you preserve them, how you put them in there. So if you put them in a vacuum sealed bag, they won't get frost bitten as badly and will last longer. Or you can also put them in a Ziploc if you have that, or a Tupperware. But There we go. And then with our leftover dough, we're going to make the pepperoni balls. And all we do for that is I'll add a clip into this one because it's super easy. It doesn't need too much of an explanation. We take our extra dough that we've made and we shove it with mozzarella and pepperoni, and yeah, and then we freeze them up and we bake them at 375 for 15 minutes. And then you have pepperoni mozzarella bombs. Super yummy. Okay, let's make those pepperoni bombs, and not too bad for a day's work. Super easy to do, and now these meals are done and we don't have to worry about them later. The convenience of them is done. The work and everything else is done. So I'm going to do the same thing with these pepperoni balls. I'm just rolling out my dough. I'm trying to do it quickly because I don't want the butter to melt. I don't want to have to re-chill the dough. And so I just added a chunk of pepperoni to each and a piece of a mozzarella stick. And I'm just folding it on itself just like I did for the meatballs. And then you pull out this wonderful ball of goodness whenever you'd like a little pizza pocket. Now, chicken cordon bleu. Okay, friends, we are at our last dish for this upload, and it is chicken cordon bleu that we'll be putting in the freezer. All I have right here is some chicken tenderloins. I have 8 of them. I have some Black Forest ham, Swiss cheese, plain panko crumbs, garlic powder because I don't do anything without garlic powder, and the same with onion salt. It's pretty much the easiest thing you can do. It's all about assembly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken out and we're going to tenderize it real quick. And just like that. And I'm going to put some of this on the counter because I don't want to stick my chicken hands in there. I'm going to add a little bit of onion salt to the top of it. A tad of garlic powder. Then we're going to take our ham and Swiss cheese slices. I just got the one from Aldi's. And then I'm going to take 2 pieces of my Black Forest ham. You can use honey ham if you'd like. And then I'm going to put the cheese in the middle. I'm going to fold it in half. Don't skip out on the cheese. And then we're just going to roll it. And then to hold it in place, you're going to use a toothpick and put it straight in our cast, or not our cast iron. We did cast iron earlier. Right into our Pyrex. And then when it's done, we're going to sprinkle a little bit of panko on top of it, stick it in the freezer. Now when you go to cook these, they're super easy. You just go ahead and put them straight in the oven at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. It's that easy. I'm going to finish up these. Thank you for coming along and being here with me as I'm making freezer meals for my family and convenient things to help me out while I am Ubering. So, yes, thank you so much. And I also want to say, if no one's told you today that you are loved and you are valuable, guess what? Here's a reminder, you are so loved and you are so valuable. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Have a great week. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye for now.
About how